All right, sir. Tell us your first and last name and why you're running for Congress.
My name is Adrian Pockerell, a Democrat for U.S. Congress for Virginia 10th District, running to address the critical issues our community and our nations are facing right now, focusing on the well-being of all Americans. I have proven record of serving our country. I'm a U.S. Army combat veteran, former NSA officer and CIA officer. I served in Afghanistan fighting Taliban terrorists. I've dedicated 20 plus years of my career to the security of the United States and want to continue to serve in the United States Congress. I've been to the corner of the planet to protect us from global threats. Now I want to protect Americans first, addressing the threats from within. I'm running to protect our democracy from the threats that posed by MAGA extremists in Project 2025, ensuring that we do not face another devastating intelligence failure. This fight is not limited to Virginia. It's about safeguarding the future of our entire nation. With my unique experience and unwavering commitment to the public, I'm trying to bring new level of dedication and action to U.S. Congress.
And one of the big issues in this campaign is the economy. What would you do if you were elected, and what would you want to do if you were elected to Congress to improve affordability for, let's say, housing or just the everyday expenses at the grocery store or gas pump?
So first of all, I'll be champion for labor union in Virginia and across the nation. The key to affording a home is to have a family wage paying job. If you look at the Fairfax has the median home price and also has highest median income. And in contrast, Rappahannock has a lot less. The median home price and moderate median income. It's interesting that Rappahannock County, it's a county in District 10. The citizens there faces challenges with the limited access to healthcare. One physician for entire county, child daycare, public transportation, employment opportunity, educational institution, and technology impacting their quality of life. As a congressman, I will advocate for policies to lower mortgage rates through responsible government spending, low inflation, infrastructure investments, and business tax incentives. Ensure the Federal Reserve is independent and supporting the stable mortgage markets are crucial to reducing borrowing costs. I'm dedicated to strengthening consumer protection against the predatory lending, promoting financial literacy, and supporting affordable housing initiatives through subsidies, grants, and tax incentives. Additionally, I will back legislation to make refinancing more accessible, expand affordable housing, support first-time homebuyer programs, and reduce healthcare costs and utility costs. I plan to promote job creation and support domestic manufacturing, providing benefit and a tax exemption for key workers, eliminating unpaid internship to ensure fair compensation for all. Furthermore, I recognize the issue rising housing prices due to uncontrolled community building. You go to the new community starts with 700, for example. A week later, it becomes 800,000. And a month later, it goes over $1 million. Same community, same house, and there's no control of it. And that's how I'm gonna work on building the economy to have affordable housing.
And tell us where you stand on abortion.
All right, that's a really great question. What I believe is, I firmly believe that if a man can make decision, why can't a woman? I strongly believe that woman has a right to make her own healthcare decision with her doctor without government interference. Women's reproductive rights are fundamental to equality in the pursuit of happiness. Unwanted and unsafe pregnancies can lead to poverty, homelessness, and mental health issues. And listen to this, that mental health issues can stem from this situation affecting physical health and potential causing mortality or birth complication. The research I was doing that I saw, the World Health Organization reported nearly 800 women died daily from preventable pregnancy and childbirth related causes in 2020. That's equating a maternal death every 2 minutes. So I will be championing to restore Roe versus Wade. To codify Roe versus Wade, I will support and advocate for federal legislation that enshrine the protection of Roe versus Wade into law, which will involve passing comprehensive legislation and guarantees the rights to abortion and reproductive health care nationwide.
Let's talk about foreign policy for a bit. Two wars happening right now, the war in Ukraine and the war between Israel and Hamas. Where do you stand on those two conflicts?
So as far as, let's start with the Ukraine, right? Yes, I support additional financial assistance, whatever it needs to Ukraine. Defending Ukraine's sovereignty is crucial for global stability and democracy. This support helps Ukraine strengthen and strengthens international solidarity against authoritarian aggression, which is essential for maintaining global mental well-being and the security. Project 2025 plans to abandon Ukraine and Russia will take over as soon as Trump gets elected. Remember, when we wanted independence, how did other countries support us? Furthermore, this will encourage Putin to attack more countries, creating instability in Europe, and might prompt China to attack Taiwan, and North Korea to start long-range missile attacks, destabilizing the Asia-Pacific region. Not supporting Ukraine and allowing Russian and Chinese aggression will have severe global consequences. As far as Hamas comes to, I condemn the violence by Hamas and support Israel's right to defend itself. However, protecting innocent civilians in Gaza is equally essential for us. I advocate for two-state solution and immediate humanitarian to immediate provide the aid. Sometimes I have a hard time with my tongue.
That's okay. I think the word you're looking for was humanitarian aid.
Humanitarian, yes. Humanitarian aid to those affected. Addressing this conflict requires balanced approach, prioritizing peace and mental well-being for all involved. If you look at it, the ongoing conflict in Israel and Hamas has led to devastating loss of life. As of May 2024, over 37,000 people died, including significant numbers of women and children. So the impact on innocent lives is staggering and highlights the urgent need for peace and protection for all civilians involved.
Let's also talk about fentanyl. We have sadly seen across Virginia's 10th congressional district, people and even kids die or overdose from opioids that included fentanyl. Tell us how you would like to combat the fentanyl crisis in America.
Everything I talk about, it's always related to the mental health, right? So as far as when it comes to fentanyl, we need to start thinking about what is the root cause, right? The inflation right now is so bad that all parents are working so hard, so long hours, overtime to live with this inflation to make sure they have enough money to provide the food to the family, which is creating the isolation in between the parents and the children. When you isolate, what happens is electronics, that becomes a friend. And also because the isolation may be the bullying and other stuff that making the student more, even more isolated and looking for some pain relief. And that's what it gets into the drugs, right? So we need to start working in each section. It's very complex. Make sure the parents have the time to spend with the kids so they're connected, right? If you're tired and your kid comes and try to, tell you that what they did in the school and all these things, and you don't have time or you're too tired, the kids, your children might feel like they've been ignored. So I think if I remember correctly, that there are over 54,000 people have died from overdose. And I also, as a person with experience dealing with the drug cartel, trying to bring those criminals to the justice as a CIA officer, I know how to deal with the supply chain. But also, we need to make sure the parents have time with the children. Also, education is necessary, and I would highly recommend that peer-to-peer support to build in the college, on the college or the school is very, very necessary. So children don't feel, because there is a stigma, right? They don't feel anything other than just talking to the friend without being jotted down, written down somewhere. So that's how we can tackle this drug addiction. I mean, it's not only the kids, military. I'm a veteran, disabled veteran. We are into drugs and alcohol and all of this thing, and suicide, all of this, right? So that's how I'm gonna deal with it.
Sir, we've covered a number of topics. Before we end this interview, I'd like to ask the candidates anything else you would like to add about your campaign. I know it's a crowded field. What's your final pitch to voters as they head to the polls now for early voting or on June 18th?
So, I'm not as a citizen candidate, I may not have the list of bills to my name yet, but I have written history with my blood, fighting to protect our democracy. My commitment is unwavering. My experience has shaped me deep understanding of the sacrifice needed to uphold our values. I'm dedicated to serving you, advocating for justice and ensuring that every voice is heard. The other part of it that people don't know, that I have, my education wise, I have associate in business, bachelor in finance, master's in intelligence studies, and I'm about to graduate with my PhD in strategic security, focusing on cyber, AI, and ML, right? And I'm also focused on improve mental health services, reducing stigma, support veterans and first responder. Economically, I aim to bring jobs back to America, support domestic manufacturing, and increase H-1B visa to retain those talented students who come to America for American dream. I advocate for common sense gun safety measures and addressing the fentanyl crisis. I also want to add this. I'm also committed championing on LGBTQIA plus rights, ensuring equality and freedom for all individuals. I will lead the fight on all these essential rights.
Tell us why you're running for Congress.